Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. And it's official with Joker 2. We are not the sacred timeline. I used to think that Joker and Batman are God's favorite children. Now comes to think of it, Joker might be his middle one. I think Iron Man was our anchor being, and it makes sense that once he died, everything went downhill. And I think God did try to warn us. It's in the name, it's in the title. It should pronounce falling a deuce. That X doesn't mean anything over there. Without a further ado, let's start.
So, you have a Joker sequel for me? Yes, sir. Contrary to the perfectly self-contained nature of the first movie and solely for financial reasons, I do. Money!
Money. The first one is piece of art and second one is piece of fart.
Yeah, and so this one's gonna be called Joker Folie à Deux. What? Folie à Deux. What? It's French, which automatically makes
Well, he know how to pronounce that because I think 50% of Canada is French Canada.
the movie more artistic sounding. Are people gonna be able to pronounce that
Artistic, more like fartistic.
properly? No, they're probably mostly gonna pronounce it Folie à Deux. Being Folie à Deux is tight. Oh my
Falling
god,
a
so what
deuce.
happens in this thing? We know how we ended the first movie on this note of like, wow, Arthur Fleck is the Joker now, and he's kind of started this revolution. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, great ending. Well, I
Yep.
figure let's not follow that route. Let's have him revert back to sad, pathetic Arthur and
I think this is one of that kind of movie where the second part completely undo the first one, and now comes to think of it, the first one wasn't good either, because if the story ends like this, the first one doesn't make any sense.
be imprisoned the whole movie. Oh. Okay. Yeah, just kind of Control Z that whole thing. So what's the story gonna be? Well, he's up
Control
for
Z.
trial, and his lawyer's trying to argue that he's got multiple personalities, so it's gonna be like, is he gonna get the death penalty or spend his life in jail? Kind of no good ending to root for. None. And then he's gonna meet Harley Quinn, but we're gonna call
There was the ending which I was rooting for. I thought Harley Quinn somehow managed to bring him outside of the jail and they do their shenanigans, but nothing happened.
her Lee. Oh, people like Harley Quinn. They sure do,
Yep.
sir. So she's also in the asylum because she said she started some fires, and then it's time to sing a little song. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, this
I did like Lady Gaga's part in this one as an Harley Quinn. She was quite manipulative.
second movie is a musical. It's a musical? Yes, sir. It's a
Why? It was a musical.
full-on musical. La 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 and so on. You've heard of music. I have, yeah. I just don't know if I could successfully market a musical to comic book fans. Well, that's okay. Just mostly leave it out of marketing. It'll be a little surprise for people when they get to the theater. Yeah, that they will undoubtedly love. Well,
Undoubtedly love. Well, the music was great segue into checking out your phones and how people are hating Jokers.
so anyway, during
On
this movie
X.
screening that they're at together, they let a guy who executed a guy on live TV go to co-ed movie screenings and music classes. Yes, so Lee is going to start this little fire and try to make them escape together. Musically. Now, they get caught, so Arthur gets put into solitary confinement. Bummer. So now it's
Musically.
time for a little song. Oh, again? Yes. So do these songs advance the story, or are they just kind of pauses to do some music? Yes. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Do they advance? I thought most of the songs just plays into his head. Nothing affect the story.
Wait, you didn't answer. So now it's time for a song. Again. Constantly. So then Lee is gonna visit Arthur in solitary confinement and they're gonna have relations. How'd you get in there? Well, maybe she didn't, you know. Arthur is an unreliable narrator, but later she's gonna say she's pregnant, so I guess that's fun. So now it's time for a song. I thought it might be. And then Harley admits she made up her whole backstory and admitted herself into the asylum to get close to Joker. Hey, can we maybe get some Joker stuff in this Joker movie? Of course. Amazing. Only in imaginary musical numbers, though. All right. Anyway, then it's time for this.
Why would that be part of the movie? The movie called Joker, and why should be there a Joker shenanigans in this movie? I get it. It's a meta. Everyone wants him to be Joker, and Joker himself didn't want him to be Joker. Is it asking too much to make the movie thrilling?
To completely transform into a courtroom drama slash musical. Right. So now it's time for a song.
Slash musical.
And throughout these court scenes, all the characters are
Each song was getting on my nerve. I literally saw people were going outside of the theater whenever there was song.
We're gonna kind of recap the events of the first movie. People liked the first movie. They did, and so now instead of having the experience of watching that, they can watch people talk about it. That might be fun. Maybe. Fingers crossed. So then it's time for a song, and then Lee is gonna convince Arthur to fire his lawyer and represent himself as Joker, and then it's time for a song. Oh boy, he's actually gonna be the Joker now. You know it.
There it's time for a song. He just put slightly inside the story.
Sir. Nice. For a little bit. Okay. Yeah, he hears the testimony from his friend Gary Puddles that he spared in the first movie, and turns out he traumatized him. So Joker's like, oh, I don't like how that feels to hurt people. All right. So he doesn't really want to be the Joker anymore, and when he talks to Lee, she starts singing. He's like, I don't want the singing anymore. Oh, I feel
Yeah,
that so
I
deeply.
feel that
Then he gets abused
everyone in the theater was feeling that.
by some guards in a bathroom. A little gratuitous misery, sure. So then he decides to admit to the court that he and Joker are the same person and he killed a bunch of people. Wow, well, it's definitely going to be hard for him to get out of that situation now. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, because just then a big bomb goes off outside, set off by Joker fans, so he's able to walk out. That really did come out of nowhere. So where does he go? Well, he heads to those iconic Joker stairs and finds Harley Quinn there. How would she know about the stairs? Well, they're the iconic Joker
It's iconic Joker. How would she find out those are iconic?
stairs. You know where he did that little
Maybe it's just in his head.
dance in the first movie? Right, but that wasn't like a public performance. Why would she know about those? Hey, shut up. So she tells him that she doesn't actually care about
Shut
him.
up.
She only cared about Joker, and she's not pregnant. So Joker gets arrested again. Sneaky. Yeah, so he's brought back to the asylum. Oh, all right, back to square one. Yeah, and then he gets shanked in a hallway and dies. Oh. So what was this all for? Well, we've successfully undone the first movie.
Yeah, that was it for it. They did want to ruin the first one. That's what I think. And I think Thanos was right.
I think fans will kind of feel like that's a slap in the face. Well, I think that's kind of the point. It was dumb for them to be fans of that in the first place. We'd still like their money.
We used to like their money. We still like their money.
Though. Oh, and then the guy who stabs Arthur cuts his own face into a smile like the Joker. Oh, so he's gonna be the Joker. Yep, turns out Arthur was never the Joker. This random guy.
Turns out Arthur never was Joker. Hey, Warner Bros. Then don't call the movie Joker, call it Arthur, a life story.
Was, and he cuts his face open like Heath Ledger's Joker. Right, Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan was pretty adamant about us not doing a face-cutting Joker thing at the end of the first movie. Christopher Nolan's not at Warner Bros. Anymore, so we can do it now. I guess that
Okay, so he's not there. That's why it makes sense.
makes it okay, sure. And so then we're done. What do you think? Well, I'll be honest, it sounds like a tough one to market, but people like Harley Quinn, so if we get the right actress for that, I mean, could be good. Who did you have in mind? Not sure. I mean, someone who can sing well and someone who, along with Arthur, can be, I don't know, caught in a bad romance. I can work with that.
I'm in bad romance. Well, he perfectly sums up what was happening in the movie. They completely undone the first one. And I think it's time for God to send Thanos back. And just remove this part. And I think after watching this one, I was just confused. Why did I like the first one? He became Joker in the first one, and in the second one, he again tried to be Joker, and then he get tired of it. It doesn't make sense to me. And the musical, I think they thought Deadpool and Wolverine got famous just because of their songs, so that's why they had musical. Is that the reason behind it? And I'm glad it got flop. I don't want to see this kind of Joker movies in future. Thank you everyone for enjoying it with me. The pitch meeting was hilarious as usual. He did point out lots of the stuff, why it was musical and why they did undone the first one like that. Why did you make fun of the fans as well? Like everyone wants everyone in the theater. I get it, it's meta. Everyone in the theater and everyone in the outside of the court in the movie want him to be Joker, but and mostly Harley Quinn wants him to be Joker, and he was inspiring for all the lunatics, but he didn't want himself to be a Joker. He just gave up, and it didn't feel quite right. Joker is the not the mastermind, but he is the funniest villain, and his can be very dark, as Christopher Nolan shows us, and they should have gone on that route. But it just come to think of it, is they didn't had plan for the second one. They just did it because of the money. They or think Warner Bros throws lots of money at the director, and that's why the second part. So that's it. If you enjoy their action, please leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.